Hey, hey, Ugly Mug marketing friends. You know what? I just realized I want to change my microphone. I'm going to do that right now.
No, this
Oh,
probably sounds much better connected to
yes.
my other microphone instead of my AirPods. All right, everybody, I'm ready to go. Welcome to another edition of Ugly Mug Marketing Coffee Chats, the live show where we drink coffee. Mara drinks water, but where we drink coffee and we chat about marketing. My name is Hannah Valia, and I am the Director of Communications and Teaching here at Ugly Mug Marketing. Today, I am joined by our SEO manager, Maura Boehret, who is celebrating her 6-year work anniversary at Ugly Mug. So just want to give a shout out to Maura for putting up with me and everyone else on the team for the last 6 years. Not be the same without Maura. So wanted to quick give her a shout out and celebrate her as she takes time out of her day to join us on Coffee Chats. Welcome to Coffee Chats, Maura.
Thank you. Thank you. One of these days, I'll
For
actually
those,
have like a cup of coffee for you.
I know, I'm like, humor me, please.
Yeah,
Like, I
I
think the
will.
first
One
time
of
we
these
did
days.
this, you had an empty coffee mug.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, bring that back, okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, today I'm super excited to chat with Maura. We are talking all about keywords. But before we start chatting about keywords, Maura, for those who have not tuned into Coffee Chats before, or maybe who have not had the privilege of getting to meet you in person or virtually, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you like to do for fun. And I already told everyone you've been at Ugly Mug for the last 6 years, but also tell us what your favorite part of being at Ugly Mug for the last 6 years has been.
Okay. So
So, where you're
where
from, what
I'm
you like to do for
from,
fun, and then favorite thing.
perfect. Okay. I am from a very small town in Pennsylvania. I've been down here in Louisiana for the past 12 years. So I'm getting close to the point where I've spent even amount of time in both locations.
Yes, you
um,
will be able to call yourself an official Louisianian once you've spent
mhm,
more time in Louisiana than Pennsylvania.
exactly. Not quite there yet, but getting there. For fun, I like to do hiking or really anything outside. I take pictures on the side, so all kinds of things. But if it's outside, I pretty much am gonna like it.
Love it.
And then favorite thing at Ugly Mug would have to be the people that I work with. Um, I could do my job anywhere. I could work for any company doing pretty much the same amount of things. Um, but
Mhm.
the people are really what makes the difference in where I'm working. So that's what I would
I'm
say.
like, we all know me. No, I'm just
Ah!
kidding.
Working with you,
Teasing,
definitely.
teasing. Well, cool. It's been honestly an honor to get to work alongside you for almost 6 years for me too.
Almost 6 years for
For the
you.
past 6 years.
Mhm.
So yeah, super fun. But the reason that we're all here today, yes, to celebrate Maura and her 6-year work anniversary, but to talk about SEO and keywords. Maura is our SEO manager, like I mentioned. She is the guru of all things website SEO related. And I think that SEO feels like this big thing that people know that they need to be doing if they have a website. And they know that it's important when it comes to search and Google and all of the
Mhm.
things, but they don't know necessarily the strategies or some of the tactics behind SEO. And I don't think we've ever really dove in. There's tons, first of all, tons of different components to having a successful SEO strategy. So before we even dive into this conversation, I want to make it clear that just because you do keyword research does not mean all of a sudden your SEO strategy is going to be perfect. This is a part of the puzzle, right, Maura? Like this is not
Mhm.
the whole thing, but it is kind of like SEO basic number one.
Yep.
And so I wanted to take some time for us to really dive into keyword research. But before we even do that, I keep saying that. Before we get to it, we're going to get to it. I promise everyone. What is a keyword? Just like
Mhm.
very blanket. Like what's a
Broad
keyword, Maura?
picture. Yeah. A
Yeah.
keyword or a key phrase is something that someone types into Google when they're searching. That's the simplest definition that we could get.
I love that.
What
So
you
if I
search.
was searching for coffee shop near me,
Yes.
probably 42 in Lawrence would pop up. And this morning I'm drinking a delicious Taj Mahal. If you are ever in the Triangle in Raleigh, worth your time, 42 in Lawrence, go see my girl Christina. She's the best.
She'll hook you up.
Okay. Yes. So if I'm searching marketing firm near me, if I'm searching for marketing firm in Raleigh, marketing firm in Louisiana, that like those
Yeah.
words, those are the keywords.
What you type into Google is the keyword or key phrase. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. So why is it important for a business? This may be obvious, but like, why is it important to select the right keywords for your business or organization?
Yeah. So, like you said earlier, there's so much that goes into this. So, even when I was digesting these questions, when you sent them over to me, I was trying to figure out a way to do this in 30 minutes
Yeah.
to give enough information, but
Mhm.
also something that makes sense. So, we're going to take it to the beginning, make sure everyone is understanding why we're doing these things. So the question, why is it important to select the keywords? Because so much hinges, I think that's the phrase, so much hinges
Yeah.
on those keywords because
Mm,
your content for your website, like your keywords are part of your content. So it's going to be
okay.
determining what you're writing about. But it also has a big thing to do with your target audience, getting them, finding them, and converting them. So the whole point
Okay.
of SEO is to get new clients. That's the whole point. But it's how
Yeah.
you get there, what keywords you use, what strategies you're using that leads up to them being a customer.
Yeah. So keywords really, when you're researching and trying to figure out what keywords you need to be using, you really need to know what your prospective customer is
Mhm.
typing into Google. It
Mhm.
might not be local coffee shop. It might be
Mhm.
coffee shop in Raleigh that has oat milk or, some like locally roasted beans in Raleigh or, it might be
Mhm.
something very specific. And so it's not what you would search to find your business on Google or any search engine. It's about what the customer. So you really
Correct.
have to know that person deeply too.
Yes.
And understand what it is that they're looking for. And then, okay, so am I understanding it right too? Whatever keywords then we choose based on
Mhm.
what our customers are searching for, we need to kind of pepper those words throughout our entire website then. Is that correct?
Yeah, the technical term is not pepper, but for sure they will be
Okay.
throughout the website in very specific places.
Mara, tell me the technical term.
Well, you have to have them in your meta description. You have to have them in the title tags. You have to have them in your H1 headings and then throughout the body text on the page. So it definitely
Okay,
has to
okay.
be in specific places. Um, and the tricky part
Just
is you don't want
sprinkling.
to just throw them in there because then
So
Google
there's
looks at you.
intentional
Yeah,
places. There's
yeah,
intentional places that Google is looking for your keywords.
correct.
Got it. We're not just sprinkling or
Not
peppering.
just sprinkling.
Got it, got it. Okay, but that makes sense. That makes
Mhm.
sense. All right, so if a business or an organization is like, "Hey, we haven't done anything with keywords. We don't
Yeah.
have I don't even know what meta tags are. I definitely don't have it in
Mhm.
my heading or in my H1 placement or whatever." How do I go about even finding like what are three things that we can do to effectively research and find the right keywords for our business, getting in the mindset of that potential customer, figuring out what exactly it is they're searching when they're looking for a product or service, business, a brand, whatever that is like ours.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to kind of what you hinted on about a minute ago, is you need to fully understand who your target audience is. So you need to
Mm-hmm.
know what they're gonna be searching for, what they've searched for in the past, how they're getting there. Are they on their phones? Are they killing time on a desktop computer. So who they are, how they're looking and finding you, and kind of what they're doing in the background while they're searching. Because someone who has plenty of time searching for restaurants
Yeah.
the last 15 minutes before their lunch break is going to take more
Yeah.
time in how they're processing things. Whereas a mom who's running from grocery store in between work, grocery store, and lunch is on the go. So their keywords and what they're looking for in lunch is going to be different than the other option. So just making sure you
Mm.
fully understand who your target audience is and how to find them.
Yeah. And I think that that can really come down to, we talk about this with digital marketing overall, but like really specifically when we're doing paid ads on social channels, we talk about this in that world a lot of creating a customer avatar and
Yes.
understanding the challenges and the pain points, the struggles that they are facing. And it's not that you have just one avatar for your business, right? It's like you could have multiple avatars. I always tell the story of when I was a little teeny bop and was getting my first job outside of babysitting, and I was working at Old Navy. And a part of Old Navy's training was teaching us, little did I know, or understand, but they were teaching us about their different avatars. They had Jenny, they had Mike, and then they had the kids. And so they had this description of who Jenny is and what Jenny's problems are and why Jenny chooses to shop at Old Navy. Then they had Mike. Who is Mike? What are his challenges and pain points? Why is Mike shopping at Old Navy? And then they had the kids, because it's a whole family affair when people are coming to Old Navy. They're doing a lot of back to school shopping. They're getting matching pajamas, the whole shebang, right? So we have to include the kids too. And I think that if they had only focused on Jenny, obviously they would have been missing this whole other market or deeper understanding of Mike and the kids and the kinds of products that they needed to be providing, or price points and all of that. So I
Yeah.
think a customer avatar then could come in really helpful. Like that exercise would be really helpful still when you're choosing your keywords, so that you just better understand what they might be searching for as it relates to your product and the problems that they're facing, and how, because your product
Yeah.
or service solves a problem that they have or gives
Or
them
hopefully it should.
fulfillment to some. Yeah. Okay. I'll get off that tangent now. So deeply understanding our customers
Mhm.
is part one of
Yes.
the things that we can do to effectively research and choose the right keywords for our business.
Yes.
What's a second option for us when we're considering doing research?
Yes. This one is a list. So if you're a list person, get your paper out, because this is going to be
Love it.
super helpful in determining the types of keywords that you're going to be focusing on.
All right.
So there's something called intent keywords. So it's like, what is the intent behind the keyword? And it's like, what is the person doing when they're typing them in? What stage
Yeah.
of the process in becoming a client are they? So
Okay.
the first one is informational, and that's just getting the information that they want. Um, so this would not be you looking for a coffee shop in Raleigh. That's not
Mm-hmm.
informational. Now, if you were
Mm-hmm.
looking up best flavors to mix with, what is that, a latte?
Yes.
Okay, so best flavors of latte. That's informational, because
Okay.
I, as a searcher, am not trying to purchase something. I'm not trying to take a specific action. I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
information. So
Yep. Makes
informational,
sense.
step number one. That is the lowest quality lead.
Mhm.
So keep that in
Okay.
mind when you create your strategy. What are you looking for? What type of leads are you expecting? And then that's where you base your keywords and what keywords you use off of this information.
Okay. So
So that's number one,
informational.
informational. Two is
That's
navigational.
that's number one.
Yes, that's number one. Two is navigational. That's when somebody is looking for a specific website, blog, place to go to get information, anything like that. So an example would
Mhm.
be if you're taking notes, write this down because this is a good one for you to look up. SEMrush. SEMrush or SEO.
What the heck is SEMrush?
It's an SEO company that has tons of amazing blogs that y'all can all check out to help you through your SEO process. But so they know what they're looking for. The person knows what they're looking for. Most of the time, they know the company, and so they're just trying to get to a specific place on that company's website. So a blog, for example, would be one of those.
Okay.
Number 3 is commercial. So where you bypassed the informative, gaining more information, trying to figure out who the company is, and now we're more along the lines of a higher quality prospect. So this
person's
specific,
getting ready to buy.
Correct. They're intentional. Yes.
Okay.
And then the 4th one, very similar, but also very different, is transactional. And these are the people that you want. These are the people who are ready to buy, and coffee shops near me, coffee shops open at 8 a.m. or whatever it is. Very, very intentional, call to action, connected. They are the closest ones to becoming a client to you. So purpose of all 4 of those, figure out what type of keywords that you need in your SEO strategy to determine what type of clients you're going to be getting in and how fast you're going to be getting them.
Okay. So those 4 categories, again, were informational, navigational, commercial, and transactional. Informational is the lowest. They're not looking to buy.
They're interested, but they're not purchasing.
They're interested. They're beginning their research process. Let's say someone who is wanting to put a pool into their backyard. They're not ready to just jump in and make that large of an investment yet. They're gathering their information. They are looking up different companies. They're seeing what it would take to put a pool into their backyard. They're gathering the information. They might not even be the official decision maker. They might just be the information gatherer, and then they take it to the actual decision maker and present the facts and the information. And then they come back and they might turn into that transactional client eventually.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so kind of what you're saying without like saying it is, it's important to have all 4 of those different types of keywords, because that very low level one is providing brand awareness to your company. It's setting you up as the authority in whatever subject it is. So because you read that article on best types of pools to have in your backyard, you're taking kind of as Bible what that blog is saying. So it's putting you as the authority when you have those informational keywords.
Yeah. That's awesome, because that also really ties into my conversation last week with Wayne about the natural progression and taking someone from a stranger to a friend to a customer into an evangelist. And it's almost like that informational stage is like that stranger that we're kind of turning them into a friend. We're getting them to know who we are, to like us, and then we're getting them to trust us by providing some more information, or maybe they opt in for a free guide to installing a pool in your backyard when you live in Alexandria, Louisiana, or, something along those lines. And then we're getting them to actually make that purchase or make that investment or schedule the estimate, whatever that action is. And then hopefully buy a pool from your company if you're a pool company.
Exactly.
Cool.
So
okay.
I love that. If you can show up in all 4 of those areas, you're going to be hitting any type of person who is looking for your company.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So point number 1, understanding your target audience is the first thing that we can do to effectively research and choose the right keywords for our business. Step number 2 is understanding the different types of keywords. Again, informational, navigational, commercial, transactional. What is the 3rd step, Maura, to successfully researching keywords?
Do it.
Okay.
Do keyword research.
I'm ready. How do I do it?
There are many different platforms you can use. I did mention SEMrush before. MOZ, Moz is another one. They have great tools that will walk you through finding the keywords that are best going to fit your company. But you have to keep in mind everything we just talked about. So the target audience, what are they looking for? What are they searching? And then the intent behind the keywords. So is it just informational or is it a transactional one? So keeping those in mind is going to help you with your keyword research. There are tons of different things that go into choosing a keyword and a good one for your company. Some of the ones that stick out, or some of the things that stick out the most, are competitiveness. And as you can kind of probably assume, the transactional keywords are going to be way more competitive than the informational ones. So that determines how much work you're going to be doing, how much money you're going to be spending behind your SEO strategy. So keep that in mind. Choose maybe 1 or 2 transactional and 4 or 5 informational.
Okay, that's helpful to know too.
Yeah, like you don't have to do just one. Split it up, and focus on what your website will be able to rank for. Because if you're competing with a national brand as far as a keyword, but you really don't need to be, you could have a specific keyword for your area and be found a whole lot more times in your area, get the clients that you need around you instead of competing nationally. You're saving yourself money and you're getting more clients faster. So just be aware of the competitive nature of your keyword, whether it's a broad match, so that's national, or if it's a longer tail keyword, which could be more local. You'll have
What is a long tail keyword? Does that just mean the keyword itself is like a longer phrase, or what does that mean?
Yeah. So when the key phrase that you said earlier was coffee shop in Raleigh or coffee shop near me in Raleigh, something like that. Longer tail key phrases or keywords have longer words or longer amounts of words.
Cool. So it's exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly. Instead of saying coffee shop, you're saying coffee shop in Raleigh serves whatever type of coffee.
Yeah.
So you have a much higher ability to search for those types of keywords, but you don't want that to be your only strategy.
Okay. Cool.
So there's a lot, and I don't want it to be like overwhelming. So 3 things to look for when you're doing
this has been
research
so helpful.
is search volume. So you want to know the keyword that you found, how many people are actually searching for that keyword in a month. So search volume. You want to pay attention to keyword competitiveness. So we kind of talked about that already, but you want, especially if you're starting off, you want to target lower competitive keywords so that you can get that ranking on those specific keywords before you move to higher competitive keywords. Unless you have all the time and money in the world, then by all means, go for it. And then you also want to pay attention to the keyword value. So this is going back to the clients that are looking at your website, your target audience. What kind of value does that keyword have for your business? So make sure it's relating to your business. It makes sense in the content of your website and it's reaching that target audience.
Yep. All right, y'all. So much information.
That was brain overload. I'm so sorry.
lots of points with subpoints. So just a quick recap for all of you that are tuning in live or that are watching this on the replay. The 3 things that we can do to effectively research and choose the right keywords for our business. Number 1 is understand our target audience. A great way to do that might be to do a customer avatar worksheet, just so you can really get into the mindset of that customer, understand their pain points and how it relates to your business. Step number 2, understand the different types of keywords. So Maura talked to us about informational, navigational, commercial, transactional. As you work your way down or maybe up that list, it gets more expensive. It gets more competitive to have those different types of keywords, but it's important to have all of those different types of keywords included in your strategy. We don't want to have all transactional. We don't want to have all informational or all navigational or all commercial. We need to have a good mix of all of those. And then the third step is actually doing the research. So Maura mentioned a couple of websites. So Moz was one, and then
Moz, SEMrush.
SEMrush was the other.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So SEMRUSH, right?
Perfect.
I love that. I can spell. Oh, amazing. No. And within that keyword research, when you're actually going to those websites and those resources to do the research, looking at search volume, keyword competitiveness, and keyword value are going to be very important when you're doing that research and selecting the correct ones for your business or organization. Maura, super helpful. We knocked that out in 30 minutes.
What?
We love that. We know that our viewers are limited on time. We know that they want the most amount of value and information in one setting. We hope that this was helpful as you are planning for, you might even be thinking, hey, how can I help this? How can I help improve my SEO as we're in the midst of Q4 of 2023? But our intention with these chats over the course of the next few weeks as we're wrapping up 2023 is to help you prepare for 2024. And so right now, if you do the work of the keyword research, if you start diving into SEO strategies now, it will benefit and pay off in Q1 of next year. And so we want to be really intentional with the kind of information that we're providing. We want to make sure that it's very digestible, giving us those main points, giving us those key strategies so that you actually have something that you can take and implement or start working on now to benefit your business in the future, like I said. So again, Maura, thank you so much for all of the helpful tips. You are the SEO guru. If you want to find out where your website is stacking up, where it's ranking right now, or if you need some tangible things that you can improve on, you might find your keywords are great. You might find you need help in certain areas, but how do we know where we stand? You can actually go to uglymugseo.com, or is that the right URL, Maura?
That's right.
Uglymugseo.com. When you go to that landing page, you're going to see a quick, fun little video from Maura. But if you type in your website's URL, you will get, in literally 2 minutes, you will get a downloaded report that has all kinds of information. It gives you a letter grade score. Okay, we're going back to elementary school, middle school, high school. We're getting graded on different categories. But overall, it's going to tell us where we need improvement in our SEO strategy. It is incredibly helpful. I work in Raleigh, North Carolina for Ugly Mug, but I work out of an office in North Carolina. And I was literally just talking to the owner of the co-working space that I'm in about SEO. And I ran this report and I was like, holy cow, this is going to tell us exactly what areas we need to work on, how we can help you. And if you take the report and you're like, I'm savvy enough to know how to do these things, great. But if you're like, hey, I want to have a more in-depth conversation about these things because I don't know what meta tags are, or I don't know how to improve or how to make my website mobile friendly, or any of those number of things, download the report and then reach out to us at Ugly Mug Marketing, whether you give us a call directly and get on Dan's calendar. Dan is our director of business development. He would love to sit and chat with you about the report, go in depth and figure out how to improve your SEO strategy as you are heading into 2024 for your business. Y'all, I'm not trying to rush us past the holidays, but it is around the corner. And so we need to be preparing and planning now. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how time flies in Q4. Thank you all so much for joining us today, whether you watched live for the entire duration or you are tuning in for the replay and hopping around to these key points. I hope that this is informational for you and helpful as you are planning for Q1 of 2024. Maura, thank you again for joining us on your 6-year work anniversary. Such a special day to be celebrating you and all the fabulous things that you've done at Ugly Mug. We will catch y'all next week for another edition of Coffee Chats. I am going to be chatting with Lily. She is on our marketing team, and we are going to be talking all about email marketing and how to have a successful newsletter for your business. And so you're not going to want to miss out on that conversation with Lily. It's probably going to be filled with lots of sarcasm and laughs too. So if you're down for that, it'll be entertaining at a minimum. But we will catch y'all again for Coffee Chats next week, Wednesday. Bye, everyone.
Bye.